We have some more NHL breaking news on the coaching carousel. Looks as though the Philadelphia Flyers are set to hire John Tortorella as the next coach. We'll discuss this hire coming up next. Well, welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned late last night, we get some more breaking news from Kevin Weeks on a video on Twitter, like he normally likes to do here. Breaking the news that the Flyers appear to be set to hire John Tortorella as the next head coach in the Flyers organization. As I record this video, the deal is not completely signed, sealed, and delivered, but apparently the Flyers have offered him the job. It's believed he's accepted and that they're basically just working out the terms of the contract right now. So I would expect that there's a pretty good chance that this could be officially announced later today. But obviously, John Tortorella is an interesting hire here for the Philadelphia Flyers. There seems to be a pretty good divide on social media amongst different fans on where the Flyers should be going, what the direction of the team should be. I know there's some that feel the team needs a complete rebuild. Others feel like they can retool on the fly here with a coaching change and obviously a little bit of player personnel changes as well. Obviously, the Flyers don't believe they need a full rebuild. We've already heard the comments from Chuck Fletcher in ownership previously after they made changes before with the coaching position when they removed Alain Vigneault, and of course at the end of the year after they spoke at their end of season media availability. So they certainly don't seem to think that they need a rebuild. So we'll be interested to see what direction they go in. I do expect them to have a fairly busy offseason with at least a few potential significant changes to the roster. At least that's what they've hinted at here so far. Like I said, Tortorella is an interesting hire for them. He's now 63 years old, worked the past couple seasons in television, last coached in 2020 for the Columbus Blue Jackets, has been working with ESPN, obviously, pretty good in the analyst role as well. John Tortorella has an all-time coaching record of 673, 541, and 37. Of course, he's coached in the NHL for an extended period of time. His biggest claim to fame is winning the Stanley Cup with the young upstart Tampa Bay Lightning back in the 03-04 season. Of course, that was with players like Vincent Lecavalier, Marty St. Louis, Brad Richards, etc. Of course, he went on to also be head coach for the New York Rangers for an extended time, had a brief stint with the Vancouver Canucks, and most recently here with the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's a two-time Jack Adams award-winning coach. He won the Jack Adams the same year that the Lightning won the Stanley Cup, and he won it again in the 16-17 season, his second year coaching the Columbus Blue Jackets after a pretty significant turnaround from one season to the next. Of course, before becoming a head coach, he was a long-time assistant coach back in the Sabres organization for about 6 years. Then he went on to coach their AHL team in Rochester for 2 years, winning the AHL championship in the first season he was there as the head coach. And then he got back to the NHL as an assistant with the Arizona Coyotes for a few years. Went on to briefly be an assistant with the Rangers before getting the head job as the Lightning bench boss. So, of course, one connection I guess people have made, which does make a little bit of sense here, that could have had a little bit of influence, would be the connection to Daniel Briere, of course, now in Flyers management. Briere would have worked with Tortorella when he was playing. Tortorella would have been an assistant coach with the Coyotes for those couple of years while Briere was there. So they would know each other from that stint. Not really sure that really had a big influence here on the hire. Now, according to reports from Anthony Sanfilippo of CrossingBroad.com and Snow the Goalie podcast, he says, and he just put out an article here just a short time ago, indicating that Barry Trotz appears to be the first choice for the Flyers. But according to what he was told, Barry Trotz started narrowing down his opportunities here in the last day or two and reportedly turned down the Flyers' offer. There were reports that he were told that they were set to make him the highest paid head coach, in NHL history, with reports that it could be north of $7 million. So I guess we'll probably never get confirmation of that. But I mean, Anthony is usually very well connected when it comes to the Flyers and almost usually has very accurate information. So I don't know that would be wrong, but it sounds like obviously this is not all about money for Barry Trotz. Like I said, some were questioning whether or not he could negotiate a contract where he could coach for a couple of years and then move into a management role or something like that. So maybe that's more important to him right now. We'll see. But according to Anthony's reports here as well, he says that the Flyers used a third-party consulting firm to determine the candidates and the hires here, and to kind of rank them in order, which is a little bit surprising in a sense. I mean, there are companies out there, like I think the one's called Sports Logic, which is the more common one, but apparently that's not who they used. It was another company. But the other part about this that he found strange, which I agree with, is that obviously you got Scott, the owner. Obviously, you get Dave Scott, the owner, who made comments saying that he was going to give them a blank check to determine this. If he really felt confident that his GM, Chuck Fletcher, was, good at his role and ready to move this team forward, why wouldn't you think he'd be capable of conducting a coaching search and find that next hire, right? So, Chuck Fletcher's perspective, if you don't think ownership has your back here and obviously has the confidence in you to find the new coach, you gotta wonder really what the status of that relationship is. I mean, I know they're saying all the right things publicly, but you gotta wonder how long Chuck Fletcher is gonna be in that role. You have to think Daniel Briere is probably being groomed here to be the next GM eventually, but like I said, according to these reports, that Trotz was the first choice, Torts was the second choice. Trotz turned their offer down. They turned their efforts down to Tortorella, offer him a job, like I said, which is reporting that he's been accepting. It's just a matter of getting the contract negotiated. So we will see where this goes, but like I said, I don't know the fit here, if it's exactly perfect or not. To me, I understand, like, if you think about the history of the Flyers, even going back to a lot of the management guys that are were part of like the big bad Flyers, like the Bobby Clark era and stuff, like, I understand like the mentality of Tortorella and how he likes to coach, and he can be hard on people, and I know there's he's even hard on GMs, because apparently from reports I've seen, he can be very demanding on the GM to bring in the players he wants, and can have some issues that way. I mean, he has had a lot of success, don't get me wrong, but not everybody is easy to work with either. So I don't know. I'm not sure this is the greatest fit possible, but time will tell. If things don't start next season well, I think Chuck Fletcher won't be long being out. And maybe the team might have to change direction again. I don't know. It could be a mess and it could be success. We'll have to wait and see. I just need to wait and see more about what they do with the roster to kind of determine here if Torts is really the right guy. But I do have my reservations that this team is heading down the right path, but I'd love to know what you think as well, so make sure you let us know down in the comments. We saw Bruce Cassidy go to the Vegas Golden Knights yesterday as well, and of course, like I said, this news came from Kevin Weeks in the wee hours of the morning here late last night, at least in the wee hours of the morning for me, so we'll get this video out, and like I said, this news should be officially confirmed later today. If for any reason contract negotiations don't go well, and this does not officially get confirmed, then we'll discuss it further here on the channel. But if you're new to this channel, though, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all 32 NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.